Welcome to the Between the Pages podcast. Today we're going to be talking about rhymes, the power of rhymes, and why our books sound like poems because they are poems.
Well, yeah.
We were talking about Rosie, that's our book, because all of the books are poems.
Right. I mean, back in the day when we first began with the books and whatnot, I showed them to Sarah, and she's like, these are, kids will like these. They're corny.
Yeah.
And I have to agree. Some of the stories are kind of corny, but the illustrations are great.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, and sometimes it's like, how many, like in the video, the words video, which you can go back and look at, but you pick a word and then that's the word for the book. It's not on this page, bear and care, and then on the next page, fair, or I guess that's the same thing.
Yeah.
It'd be like at and sat.
Yeah.
The rhyme doesn't change. Some, Dr. Seuss does a lot of that, but he changes the rhyme.
Well,
it's not the same one.
That does happen a little bit with JG.
Yeah.
The wording through there changes about every
Buck
couple
and
of words.
Kate and Buck.
Yeah. Luck.
And Fate.
Luck and Buck, Kate and Fate.
Yeah, there's two in there, but it's still the same two.
So that's Kismet, but that's for an older audience too,
But
so.
with our books, it's one Jake and the Snake, Jake, Bake, Snake.
Yeah,
Fake.
Well, that's the other thing too. I mean, most of the ones that are 3 and 4 letter words, they have a single vowel.
Yeah.
It's an O sound or an A sound or an ah sound or a oo sound. There's a single vowel that's associated with it. And so, those types of poems, if you will, are easier to write because, they're simple words.
Yeah.
When you start adding more consonants and you start adding more vowels to the words, then it gets a little
bit
more
challenging.
Interesting. Yeah. And so we try to keep it simple.
Yeah, because they're for kids.
Yeah, they're kids' books, and
but that's why sometimes you might read it and go, well, that's not a full sentence or whatever. It's a poem. The book is the poem. It's just over pages.
Yeah, and the interesting part about poems and poetry is you get a lot of leeway.
Oh yeah.
In the grammar
world. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it might not make sense in grammar world because it's a poem.
Right.
It's not.
And
they have different rules.
And then there's just personal style. I don't know what else to call it. But there are different types of personalities see sentence structure differently. And so because I'm a programmer, I do things in if then else format. Whereas someone might say, well, I went to the grocery store because I needed some milk. Well, I don't see the sentence that way. Even though that sentence is grammar, correct and whatnot, I would say, because I needed milk,
I went to the store. Yeah.
So, and so you could continue that sentence with, because I needed some milk, I went to the store.
Then I saw...
Yeah.
But there's something else.
Then I realized I needed, cocoa or something. Or you could say, when I got to the store, there was no milk.
Yeah. Because I needed milk, I went to the store. When I got to the store, there was no milk.
Yeah, right. And so some people would say, well, I bought, evaporated milk or condensed milk because there was no milk. Well, I would say something like...
Because there was no milk, I bought this.
Or I would say, since there was no milk, I bought evaporated milk. So, you're going to have to get yourself a table for that mouse thing or something. But it's okay really to go that way, to be that kind of thing. The people the editors, what usually what we do is we run them through a grammar checker or something of that nature before we send it off to editing. And then the editing folks use kind of a standard, Chicago standard, that they apply to it. And so there's some things though, like, capitalization of God and his and him and stuff like that. We're not flexible on. We want those words. Well, in general, that's not something you would do because they're not proper nouns. They're just pronouns or whatever. They usually don't wind up being capitalized. And so that you'll notice that about the way the books and the poems are written. But
the reason we do the poems too is because they're for kids, and the rhymes are easier for kids to remember. They can make it into a song and then sing it, or
I hate to admit it. I guess
it's almost like catchy.
That's exactly what happens to me. I write out the original poem, if you will, and then some lines are I guess more catchy, as Sarah would say, than other lines, and they stick in your head.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like some type of music that you listen to, and then there's a chorus or a refrain, if you will, that's in the song, and it's got a melody, and it's catchy, and before you know it, you find yourself out there humming the song or whistling the tune or whatever. And so that's what happens to me with these books, especially once I get like an illustration paired up with it. Then I can actually see it more, and I go, okay, that's what that's about. So, yeah, single vowels are the best. Sun, fun, one.
Well, and that was the other thing, which we've already talked about in the words thing, PowerPoint. But like this sentence in Rosie. We just call it Rosie. She sows her fair rose garden as she mows and hoes as she sows. Which is like, if you're just listening to that, it's easier to see with the images because she's sowing, SOWS, the garden with her, as she mows with her hose. Right. She's dealing with the garden, and then she also sews. And so maybe I'll be able to put a picture up. She's doing the garden, but then she's actually sewing, SEW. And so it's like all of these words...
Yeah, it helps you.
Are the same. They're different, or even like read and read. Are spelled the same.
Yeah, and then there's
red, RED.
Yeah.
So it's like the words. Books are great for like phonics and doing, but you do need to be able to see it, and so that's why having the physical one's a lot better, I think, than the digital e-version.
Yeah.
Even though the e-version's available.
Well, I had a visitor here not too long ago, and we were talking about books, and it turns out that, when it comes to reading and books, I don't know any other way to say it than we're kindred spirits, because I'm like...
Oh, she said, like the physical...
I like a book. I like to feel it in my hand. Yeah. I said I love the feel of leather. I love a good book, a classic, the paper, the smell. I mean, that's all part of the story's good too, right? But there's more to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
and I agree. If I'm going to read a book, I like to have... That's why this class I'm taking, they always offer the digital version with what you pay for. And I always get not always, but most of the time they offer it. And I always get my own hard copy. Well, the hard copy this time for this class was like $300. Wow. And I'm like, looks like we're doing the e-version this year because it's just one class. And so I'm like, and I love it. I like having the actual where I can look at it and flip through. Oh, I know it's on this page. It's like you almost memorize. Oh, it's this far through the book is where that information is.
Yeah, back when I was in college, there was no e-version, so you had to. I always loved it. You buy the book, and you get there, and they would go. The first thing you would do is ask, "Are there used versions?"
Yeah,
like, no, we're sold out. You're gonna have to buy.
Well, and even Amazon used to offer that. They would have where you could, like, rent the book for the semester.
Yeah.
And then you just give it back to them after, on Amazon, they let you do that. They're not just at the college bookstore.
Right.
And so it's like...
Well, what always amazed me was, at the end of the course, if it's a book like business law, I really like that one. I kept it. It's on my shelf in the library. But there were some books I'm like, no, I don't need this.
Give this back.
Yeah, I'll give it back. And, so I bought the book, and then I took it into the college bookstore, and I, sell it back to them. Well, they offer me a whole lot less.
Oh, yeah, a whole lot less.
And then you would go back in there next quarter, and there would be your book on the shelf for a lot more than they paid you for it. So, they're in the business of making money too, but $300, that's steep for a book.
For a book. And it's an intro class. Yeah. So you take this one to go take these other ones.
Yeah, and so sometimes what you do is you just, you price it up high enough that, people won't buy it because you don't want them to buy it. You want them to do the e-version. E-version, right? So, yeah. But, yeah, we don't do that. Our pricing is what it is. And
normally the e-version's cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Yeah, which, I mean, I guess it is. I think it's like $150 for the e-version. Yeah. It's like a part of class. But...
Well, and that's the thing.
Not for our books. It's like $3 or something. I don't know. I don't know what the price is, but it's
I think libraries can buy them for 40 cents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. But they're real cheap.
We're like so off topic.
They're $1.
We do that all the time.
But I guess the point of what we're trying to make is, they're simple poems. They're simple reads.
And that's the point, too, that their poems are easy for kids to, get the hang of.
Like Kismet, though, it's an older book. It's an older kid book. It's about the gambling and that kind of thing. And so, in spite of your best intentions, your child's probably going to grow up and bet on sports teams or something. And that's not a path you want to go down. So,
well, because it's still the immediate release of dopamine and the hype of I could win or whatever, and it's like I think you put this in the book. The thing is, you're not supposed to put your faith in this chance and hope and whatever. It's God.
God.
The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He provides. There's another one. You have everything. New.
Well,
there's so many. It's like they're all flooding my brain. The lilies of the valley provides, and
He's gonna take care of you. You don't have to worry about that part. But when you go out and gonna do it on yourself, I'm gonna win it. Well, basically,
you're saying I don't need God.
But worse than that, you're taking it from people who do need it, because the people that usually contribute to those kind of things are people who can't afford to do it to begin with.
Yep.
So I mean, I read a story the other day about some people that won, I don't know, a couple $100,000 or something like that, and first thing they did was took a vacation.
Huh.
Well. It's a good memory, and I'm not here to judge whether that was the right thing to do or not, but it's just going to be gone.
Yep.
And so, you'll just be right back where you were before you know it. So, but yeah, so anyway, but that book is also, like you say, Fate and Kate and Luck and Buck and that kind of thing. It's still a simple kind of story, but it has a deeper meaning and a deeper message.
Because you want to put your faith in God, not in chance. Chance will let you down.
Yeah, for sure.
Big
Every time. Anyway, that's kind of
Go get your copy of, a whole variety.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, we'll have 10.
All of the poems. I think we'll get to the point that we run out of rhyming words. We got the ache, ope, free.
I don't think you ever run out of rhyming words. As a matter of fact, I think some of the ones I look at, I can take that same word and write a totally different
book on it. Yeah.
So I don't think I'll ever run.
One for everybody.
Well, there will be eventually. I mean, Lord willing, right? So.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. Share the story with someone, that they can go get their own rhyming book. I mean, they're just really good. They're really great for the phonics. The phonics. They're great for everybody, but if you know a homeschool person tell them to go get this because these are great for
Well,
phonics and whatever.
And
when we were in school, they taught us like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff, and I'm just like, it was so sad, all of the things, and it's like these are great poems, and they teach.
Well, yeah,
more than just phonics, but still.
There's two. Like I say, there's three things going on. There's the phonics, the simple words, that poetry, but then there's the the illustrations. The kids love the illustrations.
Oh
but
yeah.
You're also working on parental thought.
Yep.
So yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, follow.
Yep. Thank you.